Hello Internet land, and welcome back to another weekly workshop walkthrough. What an incredible couple of weeks we've had since we've last uploaded a video. Me personally, I took a week off. I know, surprise, surprise, it does happen from time to time. Got an invite that was far too good to refuse to take a 75-foot Maritimo. In fact, one of the ones that if you've been following us for a few years, you'd have seen we're doing some consulting work on that for an enormous Garmin Marine fit out on it. Anyhow, we took that boat from Coomera, Maritimo, all the way up to Gladstone, stopping in at Hervey Bay, coming up past Fraser Island there, into Lady Musgrave. What a sensational destination. Up into Fitzroy Reef and then back into Gladstone. A bit of fishing along the way. Got stuck into all the different types of reef species of fish that can be caught up there. That's my first actual trip up along the reef, other than some earlier family trips many, many years ago, doing the old snorkeling day trips out of there. Living aboard and traveling that reef system is just absolutely sensational, and got to say, you guys are so spoilt that have access to that reef. Cannot wait to get up there again. Love to get our own boat up there and experience it in our own way as well. Anyhow, following on from that, we had the BLA Trade Show Awards, which were just amazing. We got very lucky and were nominated for Service Centre of the Year for 2025 and won it. And I got to tell you, not even knowing that we were nominated for it, it came as a very big surprise when we were called up as the winner. Had to get up and do a speech and really had to wing it. So don't think it went too bad. But yeah, thanks to BLA and all the nominees for that category. Super stoked to win it. Awesome to get some recognition for the tremendous work that my team's doing here at Bargee Marine. So again, to the team at BLA, thank you for your support as a supplier and thank you for the award. Anyhow, that's enough. You're not here to listen to me waffle on about what I've been doing and what we've been achieving. You're here to see what's going on in the background, and boy, have we got some stuff to cut through today. Our focus is going to be on a 625 outsider cruise craft that we're doing a full refit and restoration on, and this absolute weapon behind me. It's the first time it's making an appearance on the YouTube videos, but for those of you that have been following our Instagram stories over the last 12 months would have been following the progress. We are literally a week or less away from this being on the water. So there's a lot to see. If that interests you, stay tuned. Let's get cracking. Starting off with the Cruisecraft 625 Outsider. This is, I mentioned, a full refit / restoration. So there aren't going to be too many things on this boat that we're not going to be taking care of. The customer's already bought a new trailer for it. It's got a relatively late model 200 horsepower Yamaha already fitted. But the boat itself is very tired. The fit out is well and truly beyond its expiry date, and that's what it's in for. Let's have a look where we're up to on the bow. You can see we've got the 75-inch Kraken, Garmin Kraken here mounted on the bow, sitting on a custom stainless steel bow mount with a modified bow rail. So we're just in the process of fitting that off. That's sitting on the Garmin quick release mount, as you can see here. So this makes it easy for the customer to take it on and off when they do or do not want it on. This boat, interestingly, is actually going to be a part of a mothership program. What does that mean? It means it's going to get towed by a boat much bigger than itself. And to do that, we're going to custom manufacture a big tow plate and tow point off the front of the boat. We're not going to trust the old D bolt there. Rather going to go with a nice big heavy fabricated stainless steel tow point off the front here. More than likely probably going to strengthen up the inside of this anchor well as well, just to make sure we don't rip the front of the boat off. So it's going to be something different to the norm. All right, let's keep walking through the boat. Down on the transom, we're fitting Seakeeper Ride. We're just in the very, very early stages of doing that now. You can see here part of the fit out process is marking out where the system is going to sit on the transom. We've got the little locating holes pre-drilled. This is the outline, and now we'll come through and we'll sand this back. So we're going to remove all the gel coat off the transom and get it back into bare fiberglass, and that helps the glue that we use to stick them on. That's right, you heard it. They're not screwed. These tiny little screws are just for location purposes, not for mechanical fixing. We use a product called methacrylate to glue them on, and it is incredibly strong, adhesive, and let me tell you, you want it to be. These aren't the sort of things you'd want coming off. So that's the very next job that we're going to be doing here. We've removed the through-hole water pickup that was on here on the transom. Also removed an old transducer that was mounted here as well. You can see the other side there, we're in the process of marking up and getting ready to sand. We're probably going to, I'm thinking at the moment we may end up just repairing all these holes, including this one here, just like we did with this cruise craft, the the 685. You can see nice shiny transom. It was littered with holes. Probably going to do something similar here, I think, and get the shipwrights over at AHS Yachts to re-gel coat the entire back of the transom. We're going to all the effort to make it look beautiful. I think it'd be a shame to leave the transom looking the way it is, with all these gouges and marks and bumps and bruises on it. And then underneath we've installed the Garmin GT51 through-hole transducer, and sitting behind that you can see that teardrop shape here is our high-speed fairing block, which we 3D print in-house here at Bargee Marine. All right, let's climb in and see where we're up to inside. All right, climbing in. Down in the bilge. Installed a new bilge pump. And here's a new deck wash pump. Obviously still lots to do with the plumbing. You can see the bilge there with the through-hole transducer cable coming out. We've installed a couple of new batteries. They're the Superstart Deep Cycle dual purpose batteries, and they're sitting on our custom Bargee Marine battery blocks. When I say they, there's the other one. Excuse all the dust on the batteries. We've been in here doing a little bit of grinding to flatten things out on this transducer, and hence we've got a little bit of dust left over in here. So it's a full rewire, so we stripped every single wire out of this boat. Like many others, we're going to be installing these Aegis remote battery isolators and auto charge relays all built into this. That way the customer doesn't have to worry about coming in here where the battery isolator would normally be and having to turn switches on and off. Literally they're going to go to a new custom backlit switch panel that we're going to put at the helm, and they're going to be able to turn both their batteries on and off from a little push button switch on the dash, and the charging of the two will take place automatically within the smarts of this relay. Terrific product, very compact, time saving from an installation point of view, but easy use from an ownership. Can't beat it. All new circuit breakers. Again, we use all high quality circuit breakers. They're either Blue Seas or Enerdrive. In this case, there's a couple of Blue Sea circuit breakers going in. That's all part of the rewire, which we're in the midst of commencing at the moment. You can see at the helm, quite a bit of work involved when we're doing a refit. We've got the side panel completely removed, which gains us access to all the wiring. And you can see all our cable tie saddles being Sikaflexed on there in preparation for new cable runs, so that way we can tie cables up nice and neatly. And then coming across to the helm, doing a full remodel here. So we've pulled an old Lowrance, I think that's like even a 6-inch sounder out. This is a GME radio. We replaced the handpiece. It was cracked and starting to fall apart, the insulation on it. Installing a new Fusion stereo. That's an RA210 going in there. Custom made this piece of acrylic backing panel, and we're going to do the same here. So this is going to be a nice black acrylic panel. We're going to remount that gauge in the middle, and going to do a nice row of stainless steel push button switches across the bottom, and the Seakeeper ride keypad's going to go up here in the top right hand side. So that's going to fully revitalise the look and feel of this dash. And then up on the dash we've installed a Garmin GPS Map 1253 in the helm, which is connected to both that Garmin Kraken that you can see up the front there on the bow, and of course the GT51 through hole, which I showed you earlier. And then, like all rewires and fit outs, we do a basic wiring plan and engineering, so the guys here doing the job have something to follow, and then once it's finished, of course, the customer gets a soft copy of that to keep for their records with the boat. Let's go in behind the helm and see what we're up to in there. So inside the cabin now, it had a toilet. which has been removed. The ball valves and skin fittings, the ball valves in particular, were incredibly corroded. You can't see them here at the moment, but we're going to cap those off. You can actually see how much water, it's like a high tide mark sitting in here. This was just completely saturated with water, so we're suspecting that the ball valves for the toilet were actually leaking and flooding this front area. But this is where we're going to be mounting our BLA 36 volt 100 amp hour lithium battery. We're going to be installing it on this piece of king starboard and using our custom battery blocks, straps and saddles to secure it. And there's just some of the pre-rigging we're doing with a dual stud post and a MIDI fuse holder there, which will be connected to the charger. Speaking of the charger, let's have a look at that. All right, so the charger's mounted up in here in a nice secure area. That's one of our custom Bargee Marine 36 volt 20 amp hour IP67 waterproof chargers mounted there, and then that's connected up to what we're doing here, which is a shore power inlet point. So rather than having a plug, which has already been cut off, we hardwire it back to this. That's a waterproof charge point, so you just plug your extension lead straight onto that. Don't have to worry about looking for a cable to go and charge. And in this boat's case, being that it'll be tied up to a mothership, they can just plug shore power in straight off a generator and keep their batteries charged up in this boat. And then coming in behind the helm, sorry about the lighting, it is a little bit dark in here, the phone's not doing too bad a job. We've got the early stages of the helm rigging underway at the moment. So we've got an NMEA 2000 backbone, like using the multi-hubs far more than the T-pieces. Waterproof relay, we use that to turn the Seakeeper ride system on and off. And then Blue Sea fuse panels for the negative and positive terminations back and forward from the different loads and the switch panel. Also noticed the steering was really hard on this boat. The customer had been complaining of some dodgy steering, and just in the time it's been sitting here you can see that oil leaking out of it, and it looks like it's coming out of the seal on that steering cylinder. So I'm not a huge fan of replacing seals. I'd much rather just replace cylinders, and that way we know we've got all the problems solved. So there's a new cylinder going on there. And then in addition, we're also going to be ripping up this carpet. We're going to be painting the posts on those seat pedestals down here. You can see there, looking very ratty. We'll be sorting those out. Yeah, so carpet's going to be coming out, and we're going to be installing grey over black U-deck on the flooring. This new centerboard, the cover over the fuel tank rather, is going to be replaced with a thermalite board. So will the little hatch up here. They're plywood and they do rot out. So that way, yeah, no more rot, new U-deck going on it. It's going to look an absolute $1,000,000 by the time we're finished with it. And then on the actual gel coat, we're doing a full restoration on the gel coat. So we will be using matte again Matt from Deluxe Detailing. Will be doing a full cut, seal, and then ceramic coat of this boat as well to bring it back, just like he'd done here with the 685. Look at that shine on it. It's going to be repelling water, no polishing, no waxing for over 5 years. So great product, made for the marine environment. Anyhow, that's the 625 cruise craft. Let's move on to the next one. Right, the 685 cruise craft. There's not too much to report on this one. We are still waiting for the NSS 416 to fill the big hole in the dashboard. So Simrad, let's get cracking. We are eagerly awaiting the arrival of the 16-inch NSS 4s. That's an NS 412. No problem with stock on those, but the 16s, waiting with bated breath to get one and fill that hole. We're going to do a custom dash surround out of 6mm black gloss acrylic as well, and mount the AP44 controller in there and the JL audio remote. So it's going to look absolutely smick. You can see our custom switch panel just below. Waiting for that, but down here we're installing a pair of custom made 4-inch slimy tubes. Wasn't entirely wrapped with the fit during the week, so the fabricator is going to make some mods to these just to make sure we get the fit that we need in this engine well, but they will be sensational once they're installed, so watch this space. Next up is this incredible 263 Whitepointer. The amount of customization we've done during the last 12 months on this boat is out of this world. It would have to be one of the nicest and toughest looking 263 white pointers I've seen. The amount of customization has just been next level. We've covered this quite a bit over the last 12 months on our Instagram stories, but for those of you that are new to watching us and tuning in on our channel here on YouTube, let's do a fairly lengthy recap on the Whitepointer. Here's our Seakeeper Ride. This is the 450 system which we've installed on the back. This guy's also got a pair of 300 horsepower V6 4.2 litre Yamahas with full electric steering and Helmmaster joystick control. Over here on the transom we've got a pair of Hella A2 Apello underwater lights, and then underneath we've also installed a PS70 in a high-speed fairing. You can see that's been glassed in nicely by the guys at AHS Yachts. There's also a pair of 1 kilowatt AMR transducers, an SS175L, which is a low chirp, and an SS175 medium wide 1 kilowatt, and then also the super suckers, these silver scoops here on the back are these low profile high speed water pickups. So yeah, absolute ton of work done on the rear of this boat. But check the shine out. Just take a moment to appreciate that. This boat has just finished being ceramic coated, so it's had a full gel coat correction, which is a full buff and prep, and then ceramic coated. And the shine is way better than out of the factory. It is incredibly good. Even the glass has been protected with the ceramic coating. Going to make water just bead off that glass as well as the gel coat. Wipers have been fitted. They're Marinco wiper motors and wiper arms. We've done custom stone guards here as well with big zip out sections. Lone Star anchor winch and anchor mounted inside the anchor well. I'll climb in there in a moment and show you, but it's sitting on a custom fabricated bracket that we had to make to install the drum winch. Let's just get some zoom in there. Custom glass windows. The team at AHS Yachts in West Gosford fully remanufactured the hardtop. The customer is tall and couldn't fit underneath the standard height hardtop. So the team at AHS Yachts have extended the height by 110 mil and then also made new windows, you can see there. Blacked it all out too, which looks so tough. And then two-pack painted the hardtop, which is a brand new custom hardtop in the same grey as the twin 300 horsepower Yamahas on the back. So really premium feel and look to this boat. I'll just get up here on this step and you'll see from here. Look at the shine. Both these boats have been ceramic coated now actually. But yeah, check that out. Doesn't that look tough? Up on the roof we've got a black Psionics camera, got a black Garmin radar. We can climb up there and have a look in a moment. We've also got a Starlink on our custom black Starlink mini mounts. See the custom stone guards we've had manufactured with all the zip outs. This is the zip out to get to the winch handle. We've also installed a boat catch on the front there. Must have for launching and retrieving single-handedly. Nav lights are Hella. Got relax blacked out wish bases there as well. Look at the shine. Just can't get past it. It just looks so tough. All right, let's climb in and have a look inside the boat. All right, climbing through the side door. These boats are ginormous on the inside. Just gonna close that door. All right, so down here, see, we've got the hatch removed at the moment. There's the Aegis remote battery switching. There's our negative bus bar. Got a battery combiner by Victron there, which is going back to a DC-DC charger. As we're running a BLA X series lithium battery in this boat. There's one of the crank batteries. We've got a Glendenning retractable hose reel under here. There it is, and the BLA deck wash pump. And then in the bilge, we've got a pair of shore flow bait century pumps. You can see all the transducers in here as well. Let's get this zoom right. It's a little bit dark in here, my apologies. But yeah, so a couple of bilge pumps, live bait tank pump, slimy tube pump all in there as well. All nice and neatly rigged. Come up an absolute treat. These Glendenning retractable hose reels, it's probably worth showing for the people that haven't seen how they work. It's just like a domestic hose reel. You've got your saltwater deck wash connected to it, and it's retractable. So just pull it out. It can stay there. Get in there, do all your washing down. Actually had a bit of air still in it. Gave me a fright. I was thinking there's no way that was going to have water in it. All right, and then yeah, it just retracts back in, so saves all the clutter. Makes it easy to store. Moving on, we've got some JL audio. We've got 4 of these JL audio M6 graphite speakers. Got the water fuel separators in there. The other cranking battery mounted again on our custom battery block system. In the engine well, we've got a set of slimy tubes waiting to go in. Got some custom 130 pound rod holders made by a local company, Back Soon Customizing. You know, the speaker. This boat's digitally switched using C-Zone, so we've got a keypad here so you can see all the things that it's going to be able to turn on and off from the transom. Bait well, we've got a spare wash down pump, tuner tubes, underwater lights, and the under gunnel strip lighting, which is super convenient. Moving on, got the custom pod made here for the Hellmaster joystick to control those 2 Yamahas. We've got these fabulous seat boxes from Koriguchi in Victoria. Custom makes these. There's an insulated seat box. Had some cushions. They're all covered and protected at the moment, but upholstered to sit on top of the seat box. We've got the Engel fridge in here. If I can remember how to open it. There we go. So refrigeration, which is going to be nice to have on the boat. And then the hard top. What an absolute beast. Custom rocket launcher on the back here. Hella floodlighting. Look at that vinyl headliner in there with the Hella downlights in it. Got relaxing bucket seats with bolster, flip down bolsters. In the driving position, we've got the relaxing steering wheel with the speed knob. These are amazing. If you don't have a speed knob on your steering wheel, believe me, you want one. It will be the best thing you could do to your boat. And then the driving position, we've got the autopilot controls for the Yamaha, the CL5 engine gauge, got the Lone Star Marine line counter and anchor winch control up, down, and shows how much chain and rope you've got out. The Yamaha dual binnacles, stop start. This is our battery isolation panel. So I'll show you here, turn your house battery on. This is using the Aegis remote isolators now. And there she goes, house battery comes on. Digital switching, that's another custom backlit switch panel that we've made. You can turn the backlighting on there. And then let's say we want some cabin lighting, cockpit lighting, and there you go. You'll see these amazing, look how beautiful that is. Get a bit of zoom. Come back just so you can appreciate that. How premium does that feel for a fishing boat? They're all vinyl wrapped, soft touch upholstery. Up here we've got a pair of Garmin 115i. No, they're 215s with the remote handpieces. We've got an RA770 Fusion stereo in there. And then of course, how could we look past triple Garmin 8416s on a custom made helm pod. This helm pod's also made by AHS Yachts. There's our VHF remotes in a the speakers, hand pieces in a nice convenient position. There's the other. But isn't that a helm to envy? Absolutely amazing. Got the Rock wireless phone chargers in here as well. Every boat should have these. One for the skipper, one for the crew. I've still got a little bit of finishing off to do in here, but we've got a nice big upholstered pad going in, covering the wiper motors, all that sort of thing. When the hardtop was being built, we had this nice big conduit put in so that we can pull all our cables down and through, as well as that custom roof console, which is also not a part of the standard build. But I cannot get enough of this in here. It is just got the most lush feel. Beautiful. Let's climb inside the cab. So it's all going on in here as well. Custom side pockets, all upholstered, nice and soft touch, all carpeted from the bottom all the way up, all over the roof. Again, that full premium feel. We've installed a flushable toilet with macerator there. Look how beautiful it is inside. All the way down. We've got the cushions out at the moment, but it's got absolutely lush, thick cushions all the way through in here. So yeah, it's going to be absolutely beautiful to use. Gas struts on the hatch to make it easy to get in and out of. And then this is the anchor well. So there's the big Lone Star drum winch sitting in there. And that right here is the custom stainless steel bracket that we've actually designed and had laser cut, CNC press brake, fabricated to sit that drum winch in there, because without it there is no way of putting a winch of that magnitude inside that anchor well. Now we've still got a little bit to go to finish off, but on the rigging side, this is what it looks like. As you become accustomed to seeing, this is our standard fuse panel wiring. We mark all the positives and the negatives and the fuse panel lid on both sides. There's the Z-Zone control panel. Also another part, that's the breakout panel. That's the koi. It's a very powerful and functional unit. As you can see, everything's nice and neat in here. Got a that's a voltage converter that is used for the Starlink, so that we give the Starlink 30 volts as opposed to 12. And then on this side we've got the GSD28 Garmin sonar module, the Seakeeper IMU, some various circuit breaking. Again, you can see everything's labelled. Down here is the BLA/Invicta X series lithium battery, and that's connected via CAN bus through the Victron Servo, which you can see there, which is communicating all the vital BMS battery management system information through the Garmin's and into this Victron DC-DC charger. It's a very cool feature. Having that, the battery is communicating directly with the charge source and telling it what it does and doesn't need. Takes all the human error out of it. And there's the Aegis remote battery switch for the BLA lithium battery. But looking very neat. We will do a full recap on this and a video review on YouTube just on this boat alone, because it has been one of our biggest fit outs to date. So keep your eye on for that, open for that over the coming months. So when we're talking about digital switching, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, this is what it looks like. Basically, your MFD, in this case the Garmin 8416, turns into your switch panel. So what it does is removes a lot of the clutter that you're going to get with a normal switch panel. We do have one here still, so we chose to put some of the common things that you would want to turn on and off if you didn't have your screens turned on. So that's a beautiful option to have either or either. But you can see here that you can just go and turn anything on from right here. So pump on, pump off, bilge pump on, bilge pump off, and that's all done from this screen, or that screen. And while we're on that, check this out. This is the Victron interface with the BLA battery. So you can see here, we've got a battery monitor on the actual Garmin screen that's showing here right now that the battery's at 97%. The voltage is 13 volts, and with the boat and what we've currently got turned on, we're drawing 23.2 amps. So really cool to have that built into the Garmin screens. Can't forget about relief shading, can we? Look at those canyons. Bloody awesome. Anyhow guys, that's the helm of the Whitepointer. Let's now climb up on the roof and check it out. Show you what we've done up there. Right, here we are up on the roof of the Whitepointer. There's our Starlink Mini sitting on our custom Starlink Mini mounts. Got a pair of VHF antennas. Got a 24-inch Garmin Phantom radar. And up here we have an MSC Garmin satellite compass and a black Psyonix night vision camera. But have a look at the finish on this hardtop. The ceramic and the beautiful 2-pack paint job done by AHS Yachts. Almost too good to use. It is that impressive. Look at that shine. Great job, guys. Look at that 760 Haynes Hunter reflection. This one reflecting in here. Man, that's cool. Anyhow guys, that's a wrap on the 263 Whitepointer. Hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned. There's plenty more content just around the corner on this one. All right, even though there is very little to report on the 760 Haynes, we should have a moment just to appreciate the pure volume and size of these boats. Once we are out of this Whitepointer, we are into the Haynes until completion. Ton of Furuno gear going in this guy, which I'm super excited to get installed and show you how it works. Recently did some training with the guys at Furuno in Brisbane and am very much looking forward to seeing what its potential is. But anyhow, there's the 760, and that's as much as you're going to see of it this week. All right, team, well, that's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed the weekly workshop walkthrough and found something there that interests you. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments section. Don't forget, like and subscribe so that you get notified each week that I leave one of these videos or upload one of these videos on YouTube. Again, thank you for following. Thank you to my team. Done a sensational job whilst I had a bit of a break. That is very much appreciated. And yeah, until next week, thank you again for tuning in. Stay safe. We'll see you then. Take care. See ya.